I tweeted this morning, I said, I just want to see Tommy go Super Saiyan again. I want to see him going off dropping 50s, but I want to see the rest of his teammates picking it up as well. So I was looking at the scoreboards from yesterday in that match in the hardpoint, because I wanted to see kind of what the damage spread was, because he had so many kills. He had almost 2,000 more damage than the second closest player on his team, which was Zed. And then under Zed, the players had 1,000 less damage than him. So Tommy was massively outperforming his teammates yesterday in hardpoint, and we know what they're capable of. Weskin has had an incredible couple days. Zed has had an incredible performance, time and time again. We just need them all to put it together at once, and they can be a great team.
Now, Pac, what are you expecting from Reciprocity here in this game versus Optic?
Well, I just can't see Tommy replicating that performance. Like, that performance yesterday was one of the best we'll see, and he lost. It's really going to be up to Zed and those guys to come together, like Ant said, and pull it together. But against Optic, I just don't really see it. I think the green wall is just too strong. Like, they've gotten so much better so quickly with Zuma added to their team. I really like their progression, and then Scump's only going to get better with the Maddox. Like, yesterday, he played pretty well, but just another day of scrims under his belt. Optics should come out strong in this match.
Well, and certainly when you can see, as you just said, when they're getting the practice and they are noticeably improving. So Reciprocity will certainly have a challenge on their hands. But we do want to remind you that Fort Worth tickets are on sale March 15th to the 17th. Check it out at mlg.com/CWL Fort Worth. We cannot wait to be there. It feels like it's right around the corner.
I can't wait for another open event. We had so many crazy moments. The crowd was nuts. I'm excited to get back to Dallas. Get a little bit warmer weather as well.
Yeah, something not quite so much rain, because I'm just not feeling that here. It's a tough start to the days when we come to the arena. But you may have noticed this magical button on the desk. We can't tell you what it does. No, not yet.
That's midnight.
We can't quite tell you what it does yet, but we can promise you that we will hit the button before the last match of the day. And the only hint I can give you is that if you like Anaheim, you're going to want to tune in.
You know what that button's going to do? Dashy's going to come flying out of the He's going to hover onto the stage, and he's going to have a cape on him. And he's going to be like, don't worry, Seth, I got the Maddox back. I'm taking over today.
We actually hid him under the desk, so he's just going to be here.
He's coming from the ceiling. He's flying in. He's flying in.
Well, again, stay tuned, because we are going to reveal this fancy button for you later on in the day. But again, we are going to come to a close here of the first week of Pro League in the next couple hours. It kicked things off with Midnight's extremely dominant 3-0 over UYU. Coming up next, we have Optic Gaming versus Reciprocity.
Hello and welcome to match number 2. We've got Reciprocity up against Optic Gaming, and Joe, I think this is a big one. Optic obviously feeling good at 2-1 considering the situation they're put in their first week, but for Reciprocity, like, you desperately need a victory here.
Yeah, you absolutely do. I mean, they're 1-2 right now. I think they could be I wouldn't say easily. They could be 3-0.
If they could close out a series.
Close out a game. Well, Red Reserve, they had Smo, so
yeah,
maybe you sort of flip that, but they should be 2-1. They would be in a very solid position. This is going to be a tough match, I think, for both sides. On the side of Optic, if you go 3-1 with a sub,
fantastic.
You have exceeded all expectations. You go 2-2. I don't know what's going to end up happening with Dashi. If you do get him back next week, you go 3-0. 5-2, you're probably top 2 in the division. You're right where you want to be. But if they can go 3-1 with the sub, Zuma, that is a great week for them. And yeah, Reciprocity, can they close out a hard point? Will Tommy continue that performance that we saw yesterday?
Optic looked a lot better yesterday, that's for sure.
I was talking to Shane when he walked in, and he's like, Joe, he's like, I've never been in a session like it. Basically, we just paused the hard point about every second, and we were just calling people out. Like, you shouldn't do this. You can't do that. It was just basically
that's good to hear, though.
That was a roasting session.
Sometimes you need that, though. Like,
well, remember yesterday they lost. They were in front of the stage for 2 hours talking. Like, these guys, one of, I think, the strong suits for Reciprocity is they're a team. They don't mind. Like, they get it. Constructive criticism has to be passed along, which maybe where other teams are struggling.
And how many times do you watch scrims where you hear people bickering about where something fell apart? No one wants to take blame. You can't figure out who did something wrong. But when you go back to the VOD, it's easy to figure out where the missteps happen. It's good to hear they're going through stuff with their coach and trying to fix these mistakes. I know Tommy was one of the shining spots yesterday as he went off in a couple of the respawns. We'll see if he can still get production like that against the likes of Optic Gaming. Speaking of Tommy, we'll take a look right at the stats. Really, the hard point, I guess the search is really where he excelled, the 1.52. I was just thinking the hard point, he dropped 47, like 9,000 damage, something like that to kick things off. Tommy on your screen now. All smiles right now. We'll see if that's still the face after map 1.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason a lot of people, he's sort of been nicknamed like the game changer, right? Because there's just times when he can flick a switch and it's just like completely takes over a game.
It reminds me of, it's like the European Clay in a way. Because I always think of Clay, like Clay he'll be struggling or something will just, he'll make a big play and the next thing you know, he fries the entire series. Yeah. But I don't know, I just maybe not a
at times it's tough for them to sort of find that, consistent middle needle. Usually one time they're way
one extreme, way,
yeah, just very much extreme. But I mean, when you just look at this Reciprocity roster, there's a ton of talent. Wustin's such a good annihilator. It's just when can they put it all together? We know the talent is there for Reciprocity.
So how important, I guess, how much stock do you just put on this map 1, the hard point to kick things off?
I would say, I mean, when you take a look at it, I mean, Optic.
Okay, frequency for a bit.
And we talked to Teep. He said frequency S&D. That's one he would love to play. This is a lot of frequency. I think this is good for Optic Gaming. You have Zuma at that side. This is one of their better maps. Yeah, this is going to be tough for Reciprocity.
So just looking at the best of 5, you feel good for Optic? Just map set?
I think so. Most teams veto frequency against Optic.
Well, that's certainly not the case in this best of 5.
I mean, maybe Reciprocity is just gambling at the fact they have a sub, right? You won't have Scump on a SOG. Maybe, we haven't seen it, but maybe they run like 3 SOGs to test something out. I don't know. But usually teams avoid this. Maybe they're just gambling on the fact Scump's not running a SOG.
We've talked about just kind of the size of this map and how slavey heavy it can be. The ability to just play fast, trade, fly at the opposition. It is one of the smaller maps in the rotation, and we'll see how well that is going to suit Optic in this particular matchup. Getting locked and loaded. You see the fist bumps going out as we're getting ready to hop into it. Can Reciprocity get out of frequency will be the question, because you feel like if Optic are going to take this, they have the ability to do this in 3-0 fashion. If Reciprocity are going to do it, it's likely going to be an extended series. They might need to push this to a 4th or 5th map.
And besides yesterday, the roll switch goes on for Optic. They didn't look great in the respawns. They were struggling a bit in control. They're struggling in hardpoint. They looked great in search. I mean, we watched that one yesterday on Arsenal.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for the game 2 in this series just because of what we saw yesterday. Obviously not the same map, but we'll see if they can have a similar result here. What's your gut telling you, though, this matchup, though? You have a pick?
I think this one's the only. before I saw the maps, I thought this one was going to go the distance. I really did. I think people underestimate Reciprocity. I think they're a very solid team.
Well,
Tommy
okay.
hits 4.
I think now you see what we were speaking about before this. Tommy can take over the game, and it's 4 with the Maddox in the opening moments. What a play from him. Trying to line up the 5th. There it is. Closest streaks already. Guns one more. 20 points off streaks. There's the trade. And he's already got a Hellstorm and Lightning like 30 seconds into the opening. Wow.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I thought this was going to go the distance, and maybe Frequency is a very strong map for Reciprocity as well. Drone Squad already called in, and if you're Optic, you're thinking, crap, you know, we got to rotate. Weskin trying to do the best on the right side of his map. He's going to back on up. He has some help from the Drone Squad. Already an 8-0 start. He's going to ping the Lightning Strike. He's going to call it in as well. There is a couple of people inside Orange from Optic. He does find one on a Crim as the hill is going to pop. Scump and Zuma able to find some kills. This is actually a great scenario for Optic Gaming as they do have a split spawn scenario. It's a couple of players from Reciprocity spawn all the way out.
I'm just wondering if Tommy's ever going to die. There it is. He goes 10-0 to kick things off. If you're Optic, you survive that opening flurry. We're only into the second hard point, so nothing that significant done, and you already had the Lightning and Drone tossed out from Tommy. But controlling the base at Orange will be Optic for now. Still 30 seconds remaining on it, and for this particular map, we talk a lot about how important the base transition is. When you go from Orange to Blue, if you can chain those together, you can rack up a ton of time. And right now, Optic has exactly what they want. They're still spawning them in the back. That's going to allow them to rotate out, and they did the damage on this hard point.
You got to feel great if you're Optic, because Tommy invested a good amount of streaks. He started off 10 and
you're down 10 points.
And you're going to be down about 20, but as you said, they've won the rotation to Blue. They did exactly what they needed to do, but now they have to be careful. Where do Scump, Zuma, and Crim all spawn? This is the problem. So they wait until the hill pops. Great discipline out of Optic. TJ's able to find a Lightning. So Optic do have the spawns in the back, but we know the big difference between Blue and Orange, that balcony is open. That is part of the hill. So you'll see Reciprocity. They're just going to flood through that elevator area and just contest this hill.
They're trying to get somebody maybe in a position at elbow where they can back them up, but the pressure's there, and now spawning in the back is actually going to be Reciprocity. It's Wusking that gets the deep spawn. Optic is finding some time, but that was so well contested by Reciprocity. Their lead stayed just about the same halfway through this hard point. Zuma tagged up and doing the best he can. Tries to get shots out towards ring, but gets pushed out. And it's just about to be a tie game, and then more than likely a lead change now for Optic. So you deal with the opening flurry from Tommy, you take the lead in this game, and now we're basically all square.
Now back to Tommy. He's going to get taken down. Optic do a wonderful job rotating on over, but Weston and Shawnee do find some kills, and Weston able to stay up.
And yeah, we talked about just how he can go off and how he can slow down. Like he was 10-0, now he's 11-6. So he's 1-6 since he kind of erupts out the gate. We'll keep an eye on where he goes throughout the course of it. But
I think the big thing is like, did you have to so quickly call in the Drone Squad in that Lightning, right? Like, it felt like your team was in a position, you have a 30-point lead.
Do you maybe save them for the transition to the next hard point?
Or
Using
do
the
you
opening
just
of the
try
hard
to
point?
stagger them a little bit? It just felt like he committed a lot. He invested a lot into his streak so early on in the game where maybe they don't have a big of an impact. Obviously, the Hellstorm and the Lightning on a map like Frequency, it's tough to find kills.
Well, he gets 2 with the Hellstorm here, and that's a big part of why they find the opening into pipes. But Optic Gaming comes back. Karma, TJ, Crim all find kills, and now they'll be back inside with 15 seconds remaining. We'll swap over to Zuma, though, who's got a battle at elevators. Loses that one-on-one. The trade eventually comes through from Crim6, but he'll fall immediately after that. Still, just about a tie game. No big separation between these two squads as we get into our second set of rotations here, Joe.
Yeah, and you're going to hear the specialists start to come out. TJ's only going to find a couple with that War Machine. Zed now, he's another player on this Reciprocity team that can just take over. Not having the best game at 8-11, but Reciprocity have the lead. They have control. See if any more specialists come on in. You know this is a great place for a grab slam if you are Karma. And there we go. He's able to find one on the Weston. That'll open up things. But Scump and TJ, you take it down. Karma trying to stay alive. Now it's on the Crim, and he gets cleaned up by Tommy. Tommy has continued to bring the energy. You hear him getting so loud in the background. And this is where he got streaks on that first hill. He's still alive, but TJ finally takes him down with 10 seconds left. That's great if you're Reciprocity.
Yeah, I mean, you survive the grab slam. You're not stacked. You only allow 1 kill to come in, and you're still able to hold for a big chunk of the time. at elevators. Now we'll focus over to Orange. Reciprocity once again with the early setup, but Optic Gaming, they flooded through the front, they've got it into the back. It's very similar to what we saw the first time through.
The only difference is Optic tried to push on through. The last time they just held the back, right? They just allowed Reciprocity to spawn through there. But War Machine, it's gonna get popped. Doesn't find much. Zuma though with the Tempest, he's gonna get grab slam by Tommy.
And that's huge because he had flak on. You saw that go in. He's able to survive and keep the Tempest up, but Tommy then with the grab slam on through clears the way and allows Reciprocity to at least get a foothold in the hard point for the time being. Scump is the next one to get cut down. Zuma and Karma doing their best to try and get in the contest. There it is, as Zuma does get in for time, but Optic, just like the first time through, will still control the left side of the map and have the early rotation over to B, or over to blue. For Reciprocity, now they got their biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, now Optic's got to be careful. They actually spawn in the back. This is not good for Optic. Karma, he's going to realize the situation, get taken down, and they invested a little bit too much. They stacked the right side of the map, did Optic Gaming, as they tried to just contest the last 20 seconds.
Well, I think they spawned out pipes. Did those guys just not get to the back quickly enough?
No, you had TJ who actually spawned up. I just think they had more players. They were winning gunfights on that side of the map.
Just put too much into it.
Yep.
Annihilator out now for Wuskin. He's found two. One coming in the top window. Tommy's got the look over. He is 130 off streaks. Can he find another? They know he's up here. The slide comes in. He's going to use his teammates. Wisely done. Finds a Maddox as well. Streaks could be crucial down the stretch, but it's been a while since Optic Gaming really got any points on the board. Now the flurry comes in, but right behind that's a Tempest, and he does connect.
Yeah,
that changed to three. Three on their knees, but Crimsix actually comes in, is able to find the kill. They all stay up, Joe.
Yeah, great play out of Crim to just slide on in and find that kill. Three of his teammates were down.
He doesn't get that. He might all drop.
All he needed was to hit one shot. And that's what could have happened in that close area. And now, the next hill. Zuma able to find a couple of kills, having a solid game out of Zuma. 18 and 20 overall. Make it 19. He's able to find his third in a row. Tries to snap on in the second, but now Damon's gonna try to fly on in and find a kill, but just be annoying with that grapple.
They got a lot to focus on him, and it allowed Crim to trade him out before taking a dive off the side of the map. But if you're Optic, you need to find a run here, and maybe this is where it begins at pipes. There's just over 30 seconds left, but you're trailing by 50 points. Scump at 13 HP, trying to heal back up and work toward these streaks. Gets eyes on Tommy. Crim doing his job, but as Zuma falls, pressure now going to be coming towards Scump. I think he still has Karma there to work with him. Does Scump get that final kill? He does. The Scump picks it up, gets a little bit closer to streaks. Now we'll see what he'll be able to do. The next rotation is coming in.
I'm just taking a look at the top. It looks like Optic will get a lot of their specialists very soon. Yeah, the TAC 5 boost invested by Shawnee. Besides that, it's just Tommy about 3/4 of the way to his
He almost got caught. But he's able to heal back up and take the gunfight now. 45 off streaks. Scump getting very, very close. Concussion in, trophy there. But the comeback seems to be happening now. Can he get the streaks? No one's there to finish, trying to stay alive. Wisely backs down and waits for the help to come in.
And knows the challenge is going to be in. One player did spot him. I think it was Tommy. So this player's going to be ready for him. He's going to be ready. That's a great call out by Tommy. Zed just waits patiently, so no streaks for Optic Gaming and Scump. Karma and Zuma, though, they're going to break on in. It's all down to Zed, and Zed's able to find two.
And you hear him screaming. He's getting loud in the background as well. Reciprocity holding on to this lead now, eclipsing the 200-point mark as Zed keeps it going. 5 in a row for Zed. Number 6, they're dancing, but it's a fist to the face as Zed will finally drop. But Wuskin in the back, there's so much pressure on him now to make the play. He's able to find Karma. There's one more here. TJ coming into the web. Nice finesse from Wuskin, I thought, for a second, but TJ will get the better of him. They'll get the spawns now for Orange, and another comeback opportunity here for Optic Gaming.
And this is the second hill that Optic has had the most spawns. Yeah. They've rotated, they found Wuskin. So an opportunity for them to potentially have a very clean hill. You can see no specialist. Zed getting close to the War Machine, but the side of Optic, you have 4 that are going to be ready. Crimson invested in Annihilator, able to find a couple. This is what we were talking about. They have the spawns, they have the tools and the utility to hold this down.
You might be able to get streaks too, but that was big because your entire team basically dropped with the push coming in, but the Annihilator ends up being the equalizer. Now a lightning in, now only trailing by about 15 points. Takes the gunfight, full streaks for Crim. It was Tommy early, it's Crim 6 late. As Optic now make a surge. He gets caught from behind, but the damage already done as the streaks already in. Well, we have another lead change. I mean, Reciprocity has held a lead for a majority of the game, and there it is.
Yeah,
Optic in front.
Zed, though, can make the play for Reciprocity. He was being so patient, but Crim's got a missile for him. But he's still able to stay alive. So you see the split spawn that's coming in for Optic. They're spawning pipes. He's going to call Lightning towards the back. Zuma pops the Tempest as well. He's able to connect with one. That's a big hit on the Zed. Now Optic Gaming 30 seconds away from taking this one.
Optic making the run. It's down to the final moments. Let's get right to an Astro Gaming listening with Optic Gaming.
One mid, Seth. Mid. You, Seth. Half. Nice. Elbow.
One shot.
I'm the jump squad right now.
That's last guy.
Nice. I've jump squad.
I need a stairs.
Elbow. Fuck. Yo, my jump squad might get.
Yeah, we're winning. We should hold pipes. Hold pipes. Don't die.
Yo, go new. One stop window. Shawnee.
I'm gonna choke. Oh, outer. I think it's Tempest. Tempest, outer, Tempest. Nice, good job.
Yo, hold that side pipes. I'm going to get them.
I gotta choke.
Outer. One shot.
I'm looking at her. I have your jungle. Tommy, what's that? Go help him.
Too close, guys.
They're going outer. Dead.
Nice, good shit. Let's go. I spawn close.
Outer, one shot dead.
Nice, good shit. Let's go, baby.
Come wait.
Go on, pitch Tommy. He's going outer, Tommy.
I'm laying down.
Outer, Tommy.
8 points needed from Optic. Karma finding kills, but Reciprocity gets into the hard point. They can still get it done. Can he set up the grab slam, though? Is what he may be looking for. The push comes in, takes the first one-on-one. The trade doesn't come through. TJ looks over him, and now Optic can close it out here. Nobody's close. There's the final points, and Optic with a nail-biting finish. Reciprocity early, Optic Gaming late.
We were talking during that listening. When you look at the side of Reciprocity, Den's actually caught up Tommy. So Tommy slowed down a big amount. Weston didn't have a great game, but there were so many individual performances on the side of Optic. Karma, TJ, Crim, they all stepped up big when they needed to. You saw those streaks, the effect that they had, especially on that third hill, allowed Optic to lock it down.
They'll get one on the board. It'll be Search and Destroy up next, a mode that Optic looked very good in yesterday. Yeah, we talked at length kind of about that yesterday. What was it really that was special about you for Optic and Search? I know it was Arsenal, but...
Patience. I think a lot of teams on attack just try to flood something, just take gunfights. Optic, what they were doing, they were maneuvering around the map. They were really just forcing that UIU team to just think, right? Or was it UIU? I can't... Yeah, I forgot. But they were forcing that team to over-rotate, and then they would just take advantage of it.
No, it wasn't UIU. God, what, my memory is so terrible.
Mine too.
EG, yeah. Everything blends together throughout these days. But yeah, no, they're picking EG apart. That's right, in the Arsenal Search and Destroy. But before we get into the search for this particular series, Jess had a hit with both the teams to discuss their incoming thoughts.
Thanks, Clint. Yeah, first I caught up with TJ from Optic, and he says that he denies that the 2 months that they weren't really playing on LAN, he says that didn't really hurt them, but does admit that, well, we started off slow, but we're getting our groove back now. He says that, they are expecting to do well. He didn't seem terribly upbeat while he was talking to me, but, so far they are playing very well, and they did take that first map, so, we'll see how the rest of the series goes. Now, over on the other side, I caught up with Shawnee from Reciprocity, and he calls this a bit of a grudge match. He says we have a bit of a rivalry, and he did say, well, those 2 months off for Optic, he thinks that did hurt them. He does say, well, I'm expecting a 3-1, and he says even if they were playing with their full lineup, even if they had Dashy, we'd still be expecting the exact same thing. And he did seem a lot more energetic, I would say, but the series is not going in their favor so far. But that's all I've got for now. Casters, back over to you guys.
Thank you, Jess. Yeah, they had control of that throughout a majority of it. The lead for Optic really didn't come in until late in the game.
That's been the story for Reciprocity in their hard point.
You said, can they close out? And they were not able to do it there. Is there anything that stands out? Why are things falling apart late in games?
It just feels like towards the end, you lose a couple of rotations. There were some bad specialists. Zed calls it in, calls in that War Machine, doesn't find anything, ends up losing it, to TJ. That's really what it's come down to, right? Towards that back half of the game, who has the better specialist, who starts to go off, who can chain them together and get those streaks. And, well, it was Crim, and we saw Crim at the end of the game just be able to change it.
You heard the comms as they were getting through stuff. Karma, I don't know how he lives in this situation. I think it's TJ that's able to bail him out. He gets a kill. wins this gunfight, just ends up prone here. It looks from us like he's gonna drop. TJ though gets the assist and finally the kill as he's able to get the cover. And that, you see everybody spawning out deep from Reciprocity. They can't get back to the hard point, but yeah, I mean, Reciprocity control throughout most, but Optic with the late surge get the victory. Now we'll see if they can be as patient and methodical on a map like Frequency. Obviously, quite a bit different than Arsenal, but we'll see how they play through it as we now stay on Frequency for maps 2 and 3. But after the game 1, things certainly much scarier now for Reciprocity.
And you gotta remember, this Reciprocity lineup, this was Unilad last year, well, majority of them, you know, Shawnee, Wuskins, these guys, or Zed, they kind of annoyed this Optic Gaming team, right? They knocked them out of Anaheim. There was a couple of times where this is a bit of a rivalry just due to last year's performances.
Yeah, that's right. Last year, like Optic, remember they came in, they'd only lost to one European team on land.
Yeah.
Last year's like the first 4 events they get knocked out by European teams. They were struggling last year. Not the best for them, but they're trying to fire back this year, coming off the big Vegas win, trying to make an impression in this first week here at the Pro League. It seems with the sub, things certainly starting to click, and the roll swap. Maddox in Scump hands, they seem more comfortable. I saw they were talking outside with Tommy last night, and I think it was with Teep, and he was basically saying, talking about not worried about his individual stats, like he just wants to get the win, like the Optic guys, and Teep's like, no man, this is like for your stock too, come out here and fry type thing. Like there's a long line for him as well, since he's on the outside looking in.
I mean, if this goes south quick, there's people at home who are thinking about teams and the best teams that they could potentially make. You know, that roster movement period, it'll sneak up on us, and Zuma's going to be one of those guys that we're watching. So people are absolutely paying attention to Zuma's individual performance.
Well, if we saw anything that was impressive on Arsenal for them against EG yesterday with Optic, they had mid-map control at all times. Not any different here as they flood mid-map, but it's going to be a 5-on-2 as the push comes in towards the B site, and they just get smoked. The help doesn't come in from mid in time, and Reciprocity with a nice opening round. Just that 5-man hit you've been speaking about, it works here.
Yeah, I mean, Reciprocity just take the gamble. They know there's more than likely a sniper. This time it's TJ on the side of Optic, and they're just saying, okay, shoot. Because if he misses, you see how quickly they get to that inner area and basically challenge him because he doesn't have help. I mean, we saw this at the Pro League qualifier a number of times where Reciprocity do that over and over again. They know there's going to be a sniper there, and they just flood you. You could try to set that up, a bit of a trap, but even if you have a guy inner, just the ability to stay alive in this area can be very difficult to deal with opponents.
All the pressure comes in, and Dins and company get it done. Dins, a nice map 1, but they couldn't secure the victory. It'll be interesting to keep an eye as the strategies spread out throughout the course of this game. We'll see the different hits from either team. So we saw the offense from Reciprocity, heavy hit towards B. What does Optic Gaming opt to do? Now Wuskin will be on his POV for now. It looks like they want to be aggressive on the B side, but once again, it seems pretty patient and spread out from Optic, at least on offense.
Yeah, watch those arrows, number 8 and 9, right? Karma and Krim. Is someone going to go on a late flank, or are they going to try to take top middle control? You see Karma's watching the flank, just peeking his balcony. Zed, though, he's going to get aggressive, but it's taken down by the Maddox at TJ. Another stun comes in, so Scump, he's going to challenge his inner. TJ finds another one, and now Karma may have a bit of a 1v1 on the other side of the map, but it doesn't matter. The rest of his team, as TJ finds 3, Karma finds the last one. A great round from Optic.
Yeah, I mean, so far, offense just dismantling any kind of defensive hold. We'll see. I guess the big thing for me now going forward is how the defenses mix it up to try and see the hit, or try and deal with the hits they're seeing.
And you saw this is the idea from Reciprocity. We're going to stack towards those inner pipes for us, throw a stun out. The problem is that stun doesn't connect with TJ, and he's able to find a couple of easy kills.
Well, I mean, that's the reason he was picked up on the squad, right? His playmaking ability in Search and Destroy. I know we talked a lot about Dashy from Vegas and what he did statistically, but TJ was right there with him. They were both, I believe, in the top 5 overall.
That was it. We got to fix Search. What are we gonna do? We're gonna pick up these two SD phenoms.
I won't forget the convo. It was me. I went with my girlfriend, Krim and his girlfriend. We took our dogs to like the lake, and he was talking about the pickups. He's like, I'm just gonna pick up 2 guys that can carry us in Search. We'll win respawn with whoever's on the squad, and well, it's been working out so far.
You see, Optic, they go for a bit of an adjustment. You saw TJ had the help of Krim towards that B site. a lot of top middle presence as well. So Reciprocity switch it up, go towards A. Zed's gonna find that first blood on a Karma. Now Tommy's gonna peek, but he's gonna get taken down. A nice team shot out of Krim and Scump as they're able to stay alive, and now Reciprocity just gonna get picked apart.
Waskin last one up. He wins 2 big gunfights. It's a 1v2 now with 30 seconds. This is absolutely manageable now from Waskin.
He's just gambling it, right? He just knows they're not on the bomb yet. Nobody's on it. There's another 7 seconds that he doesn't have to check it. Now he goes on the flank.
They're on it now. Can he get there in time? Can he get there in time? Nope. Takes the wrong gunfight, not able to get him off the bomb. It was stuck by Zuma. They hop it the second he hops back into elevators. And there's the defuse for Optic.
That's obviously a tough spot because the other option is when you go to that balcony, he jumps off the balcony, kills the bomb diffuser. Around that time, Krim's going to be looking at him. He's already going to have an advantage in the gunfight. There should still be enough time for Krim to...
Yeah, he would have somehow get an angle up top and slide out. I mean, yeah, he didn't have a lot of options. That's an absolutely tough spot to be in. Optic up 2-1 now. Let's see if Reciprocity can have a little bit more luck on defense this time around. Optic switch up the offensive hit.
Yeah, once again, very aggressive towards that B side for Reciprocity. Yeah, Tommy and Zen who pushed on up. They don't spot anything, but another first blood for Krim. He's able to find one, but there's a trade out of Shawnee, and Waskin just took the ankle off of Zuma, so he gets taken out now at 3 versus 4, and he's able to stay up, but Karma able to break it at least at 2v3, but numbers advantage right now for Rec.
Krim, last man up, tries to chase it, can't connect with a Mozu, and Zed finds the final 2 kill. A big round from Reciprocity to bring things all square. And I think I heard Krim just talk about slowing it down. Well, this map isn't Arsenal. Like, it's not as easy, I think, to slow it down and spread out the defense. It's obviously much smaller. You can rotate a lot quicker. You can get aggressive a lot quicker on teams. How do you try to, I guess, slow down a map like this versus
you can play for your base, right? Just keep teams guessing, because what did we just see from Reciprocity? Tommy and Zed play so aggressive towards that B side. They don't spot anything. They sit there for about 3 seconds and they leave it. They just stack top middle. So maybe just be a little bit more patient. If you're an offensive team, I mean, and what Optic has done to cancel out this B side is they've taken top mid control. They have 1 player playing towards A. That's going to be Karma. All he's doing is shouldering this area. He's going to shoulder, peek it, but now that's bad timing for Karma. And now Reciprocity just go right for A once again.
Instead of shouldering, his shoulder gets removed, and Waskin gets the 2 opening picks. Everybody dropping. It's similar to the first round where they were just picked apart. And Krim right off the map. First time at Zuma, now it's Krim's turn.
So I don't know the play call. You know, maybe Karma got a call out, but what's supposed to happen is he's supposed to be right near that balcony door, just shouldering back and forth. As soon as he spots anyone near that elevator area, he backs on off, waits for his teammates.
Yeah, when you were talking about it, I thought just with the way you were talking about, he was at balcony. He was at top window, so yes. They had no eyes. They had no eyes towards that side at all.
So he may have gotten a call out, or maybe they would have pushed.
Yeah, because it almost seemed like the way he reacted is he panicked, like, oh God, no one's got any eyes on this, and he tries to get out. They're already there. So that seemed like a bit of a setup issue or communication issue on the side of Optic Gaming, and Reciprocity firmly take advantage of it. 3-2 now as Reciprocity takes the advantage. Once again, no one towards mid-map for them, and Optic Gaming.
So they're trying to push middle. You're going to see Scump just taking a gunfight versus Zed. Krim, he's going to take down Shawnee, so that allows TJ to push on up. Look where TJ is already. Inside of blue, but Dens wins the gunfight. Now Tommy trying to rotate on through as he finds Krim, but he can't find Zuma. A 2v2 now.
Optic's got bomb. Bottom middle. Zuma just kind of waiting for a bit of help here so they can sync up and make sure they at least trade. This will be the one-on-one that likely decides it, and Waskin guns Karma, but now done to a 1v1. Zuma versus Dens. He spots him. What timing he just got. I thought for a second Dens was going to be facing, get eyes on it, but his second he turns to get back towards elbow. Zuma goes out flying, and he clutches up.
Yeah, I don't know if Waskin thinks, you know, he's on, like, the other side of that pillar, like he's already near him. But it really just comes down to him. If he can stay alive and buy time for Dens to get close to him, they have a 2 versus 1. Instead, they give Zuma a couple of 1 versus 1s where timings go his way. That's just a gift. You'd love to take that. Those are rounds you just wish you always have.
Into round 7 now. Offense back to Reciprocity, where they've found their round victories. Has really been.
So here's this challenge he had. So there we go. There's a shot, and now here comes Reciprocity, but he does have some help from Karma and Zuma.
So that
set up a bit of a trap.
Yeah, well, that was what they tried to do, I think, in round 1. Like, they had complete map control. I thought as soon as the pressure came in, they were going to swarm. They just weren't able to trade it out. This time, though, the help comes in from mid. I mean, just like we talked about towards the B site kind of on Arsenal yesterday. The help just comes in so quickly when you have mid-map. Round win to Optic Gaming. And it seemed like there, I don't know if maybe the push was a little bit slower from Reciprocity or if the rotation just came in quicker from Optic, but
I think it was just a faster rotation.
I mean, that's what they were trying to do, I think, in round 1. It just didn't work out that way.
I mean, how fast they got to TJ in round 1 was insane.
Yeah,
they obviously had no help.
Yeah. The Optic squad coming up with the next round strategy as they now back in control.
Yeah, we could basically hear everything the way they're talking right now.
Actually, all I heard was Waskin, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah. I heard their voices. I didn't hear much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Reciprocity, there's a couple of players top mid, but there's a first blood for Krim, and that's what he's been doing. He's just been challenging 1v1s with the ICR.
And I think that's a bit of the slow it down mentality he was talking about. You know, we've been taking mid control throughout a lot of the game. This time played a little bit slower in the base.
Now they're going to push this behind the Tempest. Dens, though, able to find one. I think he had some help on that kill. And all Optic Gaming is hoping right there is that he can connect with this shot. But Dens does a great job just shouldering it, staying alive. Watch number 5. That's Tommy in a very good position, but it's bad. Tommy bounces off of Karma, and Karma's able to connect it. Now it's the Tempest on the side of Reciprocity that comes out from Dens. But they actually
hit each other.
Blows, yeah.
They hit each other, so both Tempests drop, but Zuma's able to actually stay alive. 3-on-2 now. Zuma working to get the plant. 25 seconds remaining. Krem6 looking over towards Elbow right as he gives up his ADS. The push comes through and he's going to get caught. Things may be falling apart for Optic, but Zuma at least able to get the plant and get away with his life. He's out. Zed just hoping to maybe find a freebie. Turn this into a one-on-one.
Well, he thinks this player has to check the bomb, but he doesn't know Zuma's just already checking it from this area. But he does find a timing. Can he win the first one? Able to do so, but here's the thing. Karma has Grab Slam. Karma has a Grab Slam, so if he runs into him at all, you expect him to pop it and just win the easy one. So there we go. Oh, doesn't win it though.
Oh my God, what a clutch there from Zed. The 1v2 hops it with time to spare. You like to see the Grab Slam there?
I think he just didn't have time to do it. I don't.
Just dropped so quickly.
Yeah. It was just the timing with the slide where Zed got around him.
Well, he got great timing on both players, yeah.
Well, yeah, the way they split. So you had Zuma who was checking the bomb. Karma was just inside the lobby of blue, and they were going back and forth, but somehow he just split both of them. And once again, you had another 1 versus 2 where that player who is 1 gets a couple of 1v1 wins.
I believe Karma in this situation's like 105 off streaks before he drops there. So that becomes an even bigger kill for Zed. Is no streaks in for Optic. You get the round victory, and you even the odds. Big clutch. It was Waskins with a chance earlier. Zed this time able to close it out.
And that puts the game at 5-3.
Looks a little better for Optic if that is the case. But now it's tied. Each team pushing each other the distance. TAC 5 going to be put in from Reciprocity.
TJ doesn't have a sniper. He's just shouldering that area, just spotting the Reciprocity guys. And now he's staying alive, but the rest of Optic going all the way around. They're pushing through that orange base. They're trying to isolate Shawnee. They do just that. But Annihilator is out, and we know how good Weston's been with it. And they just leave it. You see all those players just mantle that wall, and they go back towards middle.
4v4, but time now dwindling. Annihilator still up. He may not even need to hit the shot as his teammates finding the kills. 3 players remaining now from Optic as they try to retake. 3-on-3. 15 seconds on the clock. They've got to go. Weskin still has the Annihilator. There he hits the shot. Karma last man up. They push through, and there's the round victory for Reciprocity. Now 1 round away from tying up this series at 1 apiece.
And I think I heard Krim say when he's like, there's 3 top mid, hop it, but I don't think anyone was near the bomb. I think you heard him say that. All of Optic were just still rotating. Nice shots out of Weston with that Annihilator. There was the opportunity, and maybe if there's someone on the bomb, you know, they push out their side. Maybe they get that defuse.
So no one able to get on it. We'll see now if Optic can get this to around 11.
Just think how that 1v2 changes this from Zed.
Yeah, very true. Tommy wants to pull out the sniper. Will TJ give him a shot? There's the grab slam. That'll be the first blood now for Karma. 5v4 to Optic Gaming. A lot of pressure on Tommy to hit a shot. They hit inner. There's the snap. Scump, we'll see you later. Tommy's going to re-peek. He might get caught. He's got the Mozu out. Tommy's going to get dropped, but Zed's still here holding an elbow. He pulls out the War Machine. Zed pulls out the War Machine, and he uses the cluster. Plant in now from Optic. They have a 3v2.
He's going to leave. Let him waste his War Machine shots. And you see TJ, I think he's holding a stun. He's holding a stun or a nade, but he actually finds two with a direct impact. It was a cluster that TJ was holding now on 1v2.
Zuma's already clutched a 1v1. I think Sin just spotted him. He just spotted him.
He knows as well that they're going to push him, but it looks like he found the timing. But he knows both players are going to be down here. Wins one. Now can he stay alive? No. Den's able to get it in Reciprocity. Going to take the search and destroy 6-4.
All tied up at 1 apiece. A lot of clutch moments late in rounds from Reciprocity. As the defuse comes in just in time. A huge Game 2 win there from Rec.
Just great specialist usage from them. Zed able to find two with the War Machine. I mean, it was opened up by Optic with Karma and that grab slam.
And the direct impact, like even if you had Flak there, that might have been a big moment to get 2 kills and put Zuma in a very tough spot to try and clutch. But now we've got ourselves a series. Rec tie it up at 1-1. It's Control on Frequency coming up next. The first respawn goes to Optic. Can Reciprocity fight back?
The Call of Duty World League is brought to you by Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, the official beverage of the CWL. Scuff Gaming, the official controller of the CWL. And TCL, America's fastest growing TV brand.
Welcome back. All tied up at 1 apiece. It's Control on Frequency coming up next. It's been back-to-back-to-back on this particular map. Incredible performance there from Reciprocity to get the victory in the game, too. Considering how good Optic looked in Search yesterday, that's a big W on the board for Rec.
Yeah, and a couple of clutches go their way. I mean, we talked about it a few times with that 1v2 from Zed, how that changes things. That ties the game up at 4-4. What happens the next round? They get the bomb down. Wuskin has his Annihilator able to connect right towards the end of the game, and Hardpoint in Control and Search and Destroy. We focus on those specialists for that reason. You know Karma wants that 1v1 back. If he pops that grab slam or just gets some better timing, they're up 5-3. Things are a lot different for them.
Hell of a performance there from Zed, but we'll now focus on the Control. Any real standout talking points about this particular map for you in this mode?
Yeah, this could be a fun one for the defense, right? You could just get these guys set up in a nasty spawn trap if they're spawning back horns. We saw it a lot in the Pro League qualifier. You may see a couple of teams or a couple of players who, you know, get left out of that certain situation, just push up towards the spawn, try to find a couple of kills just due to the sheer size of the map. It's so easy to rotate around. And if you're able to get those streaks while the defensive spawn is covered by a giant mountain, the other one isn't.
And we'll see, you know, for Scump and Optic, one of the big talking points obviously has been just the early Control struggles in week 1. He had a 1.43 KD at Vegas, a 0.55 right now. And I know we're not going off a lot of maps in their early struggles, but still, I mean, 0.55 is just not good when you look at a player of that caliber. So we'll see, maybe he can boost that a bit with a performance here in Game 3. Looks like there might be a little bit of an issue as the guys seem to be talking it through right now with the admins.
But yeah, Control is just... that game mode where...
I just heard Nameless say something about tacos.
Yeah, Taco Day.
Catering must be up now.
Yeah, I did see some plates out there.
I can smell it. I literally just smell tacos right now. My mouth is watering.
I know.
The first time I smelled it, I got chills. God, I'm obsessed. I haven't eaten since like 8:30.
I was going to talk about Control, but we...
Yeah, sorry, get back. I literally, as you started talking, I heard Nameless say tacos in the background.
We can keep talking about tacos.
Oh, I'm so excited. Now, what was your point about Control? I'm so sorry.
Doesn't
I'm
matter
very
at this
rude.
point.
Now you're distracted by tacos as well, Joe. Who's your key player to watch maybe on the Reciprocity side in this particular matchup?
I mean, you see that duo on the right, sort of Zed and Tommy. I feel like those are your consistent slayers. They could be your stars, and they have to be. So you're looking for a third guy. And in map 1, he really struggled, and that's Wuskin. I think at times he could be an incredible AR, but he can get caught up in some moments. Yeah, he can get caught up in some moments. I think at one point when I looked at the scoreboard, he was around 19 and 29. Now, he was put into some tough positions, right, where he was trying to anchor all by himself. But he's their AR. At times, he could be their leader. Let's see if he could step up. On the side of Optic, we talked about, I think Scump, right? Just due to the individual stats-wise.
Yeah. And overall, just taking a look at where these guys stand. 1-2 currently in the Pro League for Reciprocity, 2-1 for Optic Gaming. I think if you're Optic, if you get out of this 3-1 or 2-2, you probably feel okay, just considering the tough spot for this.
We're not going to be happy about it.
Yeah,
but they have
could be worse. Could be worse. But Reciprocity, like I think this is much more important for them to get to 2-2, to get to 500. And there, it's just been a lackluster week, but put in some tough spots, which I think I've said 700 times now. But there's no other way to really talk about having a sub come in and losing maybe the best player in the world before.
Yeah, and I mean, Scump's sort of after day 1, he's the one who had to make the role change. He's running Amatics. Again, this is probably the best thing for his team because he's not putting up ridiculous numbers. Where Scump, this is what you do with Amatics, so you're gonna keep us on, all right, buddy?
All right, apologize for the delay, but it looks like we're ready to get rocking and rolling here into map 3. You like the map breakdown when you first saw it for Optic, specifically when you were talking about the respawns. Well, even the search. Didn't you say Team was excited for that search?
Yeah, that's typically Team's go-to veto against Optic. That's why, they look at payload, they look at arsenal as the maps they want to play. But again, it's different when you have Dashi on it. Like, who knows what happens.
Absolutely.
Again, I think Reciprocity is just taking the gamble because Dashi's not here.
Okay, well, right into round 1. Krim up mid-map. The push from Reciprocity over towards B. Nice shots from Krim as he's able to peel too. Den's still just dancing, and he's able to stay alive. Nice finesse there from Dens. And this will keep the pressure alive towards this B site. First tick in at B, and Den's just going to back up. I like that. You know the pressure's coming in. Just stay alive, find as many kills as you can. He's ultimately going to get caught by Karma. But the rest of his team, they rotate over, and they're going to get almost 2 on day, but the push comes in from Optic.
Yeah, they're trying to get on in as they're able to find 3. Now watch those green arrows, right? They're going to get so aggressive. Dens is here with the Maddox, but you already have Karma in the window of Reciprocity. Can he find this kill? Nope, Den's able to take him down. But now it's Zuma's turn. But a great job.
Ben, I hate you. Ben just literally walked up with a mouthful of tacos and a plate full of tacos and smiled at me. Thanks, Ben. It's horrible.
We're almost there.
That's horrible.
There we go, 3 dead. There's the aggression from Optic Gaming, but look at Reciprocity. They just dipped, and here's the rotation. Optic read this so well. TJ's walking the back door. Zuma's watching the elbow. They see nothing. What does that mean? All of Rec have gone towards this B site. Jump trying to find a couple of kills. Has the help of Krim and TJ. And now they have an 8th life advantage. And guess what? TJ and Tommy just get to set up, get some free kills.
And it's not just going to be the life advantage, but really the clock is going to start to play a part here. Just only 37 seconds remaining, but with the 4-man wipe, that should allow them, are they going to be able to finish A? It looks like that'll be the case. So they're going to get the extended time. Tommy's already towards B as well. How much can he put into this second tick before Optic swarms in? It's him and Zed here to try and deal with the 3-man hit from Optic. Tommy's still up there. He will drop, and Optic will hold for now. Now it's really just a, time doesn't matter anymore. It's really just alive. 6 remaining for Reciprocity. Can they clutch up? And they're doing it so far. They find the opening 2 kills, and bit by bit, they claw their way back into this. There's a 3rd in a row from Reciprocity. Optic are throwing this away. Reciprocity is now getting into the site. They only have a 2 life advantage, 1 life advantage. Optic getting torn off the map. The big lead is just gone. Reciprocity blow them off of frequency. And there's the W in round 1. It can't be that easy. They didn't find a kill.
Sometimes that's what we talk about on offense. It only takes 1 good push.
Yeah.
If you get pushed in those situations, all you need is 1 life on attack, and that's exactly why.
Only thing you have to avoid is just that 4 or 5 down where they get firm control of the zone.
Right, the trades come in for Optic. And
you trade a couple of those and it's different. Yeah, at least if you stagger them a bit, but wow, what a performance from Reciprocity as they take victory out of the hands of Optic and stun them in round 1.
Play. I mean, Chump was still set up on the Reciprocity side. If he finds a kill or 2, then the pinch comes in, right? They have a bit of a Reciprocity sandwich, if you want to call it. But instead, Chump gets taken down, tried to play his life. But yeah, they were flawless towards the end.
Wow. Well, it was what? It was Optic that really made the late run and hard point. Then it was the clutch moments from Reciprocity in the search. Who's going to have the big moments here in map 3? So far, it's Reciprocity. Optic, though, with a presence towards the B site. They have middle locked down as Crim6 is set up and patrolling. Stun in, connects on Tommy. He's got tac mask, though, and Shawnee able to back him down. That allows Tommy to get out of the tac mask, or sorry, get out of the stun and put pressure forward, but Karma and Optic ready and waiting. B done quickly. Done very quickly, Joe. And now, yeah, you have a life advantage. You just need that one good push.
You have 2 minutes, right, where you could just play your life advantage. Yes, it's only 2 right now. You can make that grow, so they can just punish Tommy and Dens. You already have people in position, but Zuma trying to get away, but there's Wusky able to find a couple of kills.
Yeah, I mean, you have 2 players there. Zuma's like 150 or so off streaks in that spot. Like, that just looked kind of awkward, didn't it?
So I think what they were trying to do is just find those players, but they knew the spawns were coming in, so they were trying to just set up a little rush on the rest.
Yeah, I got you.
But it doesn't matter, as Optic's still able to find 3. They have position on A. 1 tick is loading on in. Now Reciprocity, they're going to have to be good on this push, or this is going to be a very fast round from Optic Gaming. You have Zuma with the Saga. I mean, at least he's helping top mid. So it's going to be tough for him to find some kills. But there we go. Reciprocity fly on in. It's almost capped as well. And it looks like it should go the way of Optic Gaming, and it will.
Reciprocity get the first round win. Optic, a convincing offense from them, as that was not a long round at all. 10 life advantage, and they smoke both points very, very quickly. And that's just what happens when you lose that B control so fast. It's just, what was it, 2.5 minutes or so that Somehow Reciprocity would have to post up an incredible defense.
Yeah, that A site can be just so hard to retake because you're either pushing from your elbow, which
Well, it's just a long lane of sight. Like, if you're set up there L trigger, like we talk.
Or you have to go through one door.
Yeah. And you talk a lot about sometimes, you know, I don't know, tough angles in this game because of sliding and stuff. Like sometimes if you're holding an angle, have cover, L trigger, you still can get punished by someone flying and sliding you, but not this angle right here when you're just soaring across an open catwalk.
Karma, though, having a great game. He must have really turned around in that round, too, as he's 13-7. He's going to call in the Hellstorm. Doesn't find a kill. Connects on a hit marker with that flak jacket. But they know where Reciprocity is, and he's able to find one. Snaps on a Dens as well. Great shots out of Karma. He was wonderful yesterday as well. We heard about him in practice just before the CWL Pro League began. He really was playing at a high level. Didn't have the best day one, but since then has turned it around.
Well, he has streaks. Scump has just found a couple as well, as he has 5 in a row. Reciprocity yet to find a tick on either of the zones. Karma just goes soaring in. Grab Slam is there, gets one. The jiggle almost takes the second gunfight as well. Heads up play by Krem to not just fly into elevator, finds a kill top first. And he's able to still contest. Just this one-on-one. It's won by Zed. Another streak comes through, which comes up empty. But it funnels Reciprocity inside. 50 seconds remaining, and kind of similar to the first round. It took Reciprocity a while to get that first point on the board.
They at least had 2 ticks, right? Like right off the start.
That's true, yeah.
Where if they had to go towards that B side, they could. But right now, just feel like map control is all Optic. You see 3 green in the kill feed. Zed trying to do the best to stay alive, but here's the problem. You can get caught in your spawn with a couple of lightning strikes, but Carmen doesn't connect with anything, so that's good for Rec. Wow. The only thing they have left now is Jump with a lightning strike. All streaks have been used. So this is one of those rounds that we talk about. If Reciprocity can somehow win it, could be such a huge momentum shift. I just don't know if they will. They're down 7 lives. You have Zuma in your base. He gets taken down.
A similar deficit in the first round.
But they have 2 points.
Yes, exactly. They at least have one of these points done.
Oh my goodness.
Karma frying right now. And if you're Optic, yeah, you throw so much at this with your use of the streaks, thinking maybe, you know, we close out the second round, then to get our third round on the board, we have all our specialist weapons to work with. Because they hold on to everything but the grab slam. Just not enough time. 3 lives. They try to slide in. They're ready and waiting. Can't get through. And a nice defense from Optic Gaming. So they make sure they get the second round. Yeah, behind all those streaks. They don't use much, you know. You don't use Annihilator, you don't use your War Machine. You keep all that stuff for this next round. You think maybe this is where they're now to go for the throat.
And it's not like the streaks connected with much, right?
Well,
but what it does, it forces them in very.
Think about Karma's 2 kills he got right after it, though. Karma sees with the Hellstorm. He knows he funnels 2 into bottom ladder. He goes down there and gets 2 easy, well, maybe not easy kills, but he knows exactly where they are. He goes down and gets 2 kills. So like that's almost like getting a kill with the Hellstorm without actually getting the kill with the Hellstorm.
And what those streaks do as well is they keep him off the point, right? So what does that allow his teammates to do is rotate. We know where
get
they're
map control, get position, yeah. So just the lightning left. Reciprocity, though, they got to get this round in, and there's 2. The slam comes in. Tommy connects, and that'll slow down the opening offensive push for Optic Gaming. And by slow down, I mean decimate it.
Well, there's still 1 player bottom mid. TJ's going to find him.
Hello.
Zuma with 1 in his base.
Hello.
TJ finds 2. The trades have to come in. Dens with the Tempest able to find a couple of kills. So now very similar where you just have life advantage for Reciprocity on that defensive side. And they have a lot of map control. His Den's already pushing up for some spawn kills. Can he win this gunfight against TJ? He can. He's just going to be annoying for Optic to deal with.
Hey, you got to think about that player in your base before you can even really worry about getting to one of the points. And Dens is still here. You can see he's being hunted, and he keeps on winning gunfights. I know he has a team kill, but who the hell cares? He's making this a nightmare. Another kill comes in for Dens. That's 5 in a row, and everyone's just funneling in to try and take him out. But now he's got help to work with. It's no longer a one-on-one. So you've got multiple players here. You've got to use a stun to take him out. So many lives. It's a 6-life advantage now for Reciprocity. And Optic hasn't even thought about a point for 30 or 40 seconds.
Yeah, Dens now gets a lightning strike of his own. Crim and Scump, though, able to find some kills. All of Optic on A. Can they get that minute extension? 4 go down.
There it is.
TJ's already pushed on up as well. They're going to try to double points. You can see a couple of players go to A, 3 to B. A bit of a gamble here if you're Optic, but there's a lightning strike. They're going to try and win it right here, just based off these rotations. There's the War Machine as well. Flag check, it is out for Reciprocity. But one player, number 1, that was Tommy, just went to A, and they don't even get A yet.
There it's going to come in. It should be able to get it done as he has the Annihilator on the site, and TJ is still here. Everyone else has gone to help. They have to finish A. It's going to be Crim6 who has to keep patrolling that. They need just another second or two, and they'll get the time added on. So there's the added 60 seconds.
They've used everything. I mean, 9A, they use Annihilator, War Machine.
Tempest is out. Tempest is out. Can we get to Zuma?
Yeah, Tempest as well. If he can connect, yeah, he's able to connect with 2 nice shots out of Zuma. Can he get that player Zed being so annoying? And now he's back up, but he does connect with Dens. But now Wuskid with the Annihilator as well. All the specialists being pulled out here.
It's mayhem in game 3. 6 lives for Optic. 4 now for Reciprocity. Wuskid, he's got to hit some shots. He's got 3 left. He's got to hit some shots. Can't do it. 2 left. He's stunned. He's picked. Last man, Dens, he's out, and that is back-to-back respawn victories for Optic Gaming. But wow, did all hell break loose.
There was 20 seconds left. They had to get on that A point. They win a team fight. Then they rotate on over to B, and everything was used on both sides.
Well,
that's coming on top.
That's what you thought going into it. I mean, you used the streaks in the previous round to try and get that on the board. Then everything comes out in the final moments.
I don't know when that was, but if Karma was just being annoying.
Well, yeah, we were so focused on what Zed was doing on the other side. Looks like Karma had a
spawn trap,
a bit of his own.
Just forcing a staggered push out of Reciprocity. And that, again, was a mode where Optic struggled a bit this week and able to come out on top, so you got to be feeling good.
All right, so both respawns out of Optic. The search to Reciprocity will be Hardpoint up next, and we'll finally get out of Frequency as well.
On Hacienda.
Yeah, change of scenery.
It's a beautiful
further
place.
Into this best of 5, but I do want to take a look at the Scuff play of the game. This is towards the end of the control, and this is when they're trying to do the split push. They got both sites, and Crim has a one-on-one there. I mean, the Annihilator makes that a lot easier than it needs to be, but if he loses that, suddenly you have to make a lot more decisions if you're Optic Gaming.
And I just want to watch Karma. So it does look like he's pushing out. Watch that number 10 arrow. You can see Paradox was highlighting it, but yeah, he was just being annoying. That Tac 5 boost was popped. You can see.
Look at number 2. Yeah, you're sitting there holding, trying to deal with it.
There's a lot of pressure in the base of Reciprocity, and Karma's just waiting. Number 10 is just waiting. So we were on board with Zuma, but Karma is just waiting in the base of Reciprocity. As soon as those kills go down, now you have Karma in the base staggering Reciprocity. He's able to find a couple. That forces a 4 versus 3.
This is my fault. This is my fault. I asked Paradox to go to the Tempest. I saw it get popped. The play is by Karma.
Yeah, look,
Paradox, I'm sorry.
Look, at this point, he's still holding Tommy in. Tommy and Shawnee, he's killed them now 3 times. He's forcing a 4 versus 3. Now he's going to go on a flank as well. There's only 1 player up. Wow, what a play out of Karma.
I'm thinking about the specialist weapon, and it's just Karma getting the spawn kills. What a play from the 3-time. As Optic get the victory. So during all that chaos, as we were focusing on the zone, it was really just the calm, cool, collected Karma just picking them off one by one on the base.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't see everything.
Well, I know. But
thank God for replays.
That's what's so tough sometimes at commentating. Like, when all hell breaks loose and specialists are coming out everywhere, it's like, what do you focus on? But there, that was a great. See, that's why I love the replays. That's a great replay to see how everything went down. You got to see kind of both sides of it.
You just have nightmares about Stage 1 of Lighthouse 3.
When I used to be controlling Concat.
Yeah.
Oh god, I should never been allowed to do that ever.
Yeah. Well, you missed somebody's kill, right?
Oh, it was Karma.
Round 11.
Karma, yeah. It was the what? Game 7 search.
That was incredible.
Rise versus Optic.
Yeah.
And I think I hopped to formal. Karma got 2 kills, and I had nightmares for months. I still do. So I wake up in a cold sweat just thinking about how awful I was at Codcaster.
I mean, the big thing really, well, I was just saying, was just a heat wave. You caught that when
that's true.
He was Looney.
Yeah, Looney.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So Hacienda up next. And this has been a series of clutch moments from both sides, but Reciprocity, they've got to take the hard point to get it to that 5th and final map. And even if they get there, we talked at length about how good Optic was.
Wait, so Optic's
yesterday.
loving these S&D choices in this one. It's frequency, yes, they lost it, but I know that's their gift.
Honestly, I didn't even think about that, when we first looked at it. Like I guess I was focused on the first map's frequency. I didn't even think about the fact Arsenal's game 5. So if you get there and your Reciprocity, I guess the good thing is maybe you have a lot of homework you could do. You saw them play this yesterday. You saw how good they looked against DG, but they look scary. I mean, it looked very formidable. It was one of the cleanest searches we've seen.
And you saw that stat, Tommy, number 2 in respawn damage. Guy's been awesome to watch, but even when he's been going off, they've fallen short in those crazy games. Even game 1 when they lost, right? He starts off 10-0, and
I feel like sometimes, and this is a Maven stat, but when Tommy is going off, this team loses somebody. Like, think back to Splice last year at the beginning of World War II when he had the FT12 and he was having those monster games and they were still struggling. I remember I call him Tommy the Terminator. He's taking over, but they're still dropping maps. Here we go. Map 4. First hardpoint, a nightmare to try and get solid control, but so far it's Reciprocity doing it.
Shaker.
A little shaky?
A little shaky. Looking like you out there, but
hey,
TJ,
I've got the beeps.
Lately, they've been all right. Optic able to break on in, but we're going to be focused on that next hardpoint. Garage coming up. You can see number 1 and 4. That's going to be Krim and Zuma, making sure they have that locked down. But Reciprocity kills middle of the map. You might have a bit of a split spawn here for Optic Gaming, and you will. Scump and TJ spawn out. This is perfect for Reciprocity. There's still time, though. Karma and Krim clutch on up. They're able to find kills. Now it's TJ's turn, and just pretty back and forth near this garage area. But Reciprocity do have the close spawns, but Karma's still here. Had such a great game 3, and all the kills are the way of Optic.
And he is being such a pain to deal with the plays through water. That'll be another thing. Somehow he's still up, alive. Just finessing Reciprocity. How many is that? It's 3 in a row for him, and he has a nice 5-2 start, and he's finding some objective time to go with it. Still a ton of points, still streaks, but we'll see if he can do it. And this is what we've seen to be more common, kind of holding this hard point from the front. Yeah, he's feeling pretty good. Doesn't win the gunfight, but looking strong.
It's just due to the positions that are created from the hard point, right? You have that Lambo. If you get an AR, you can hold it from the front or the back. It's hard to break in through that staircase, so that's what it comes down to. It really just is one lane that you have to push through. And sometimes it's even better to break from the front because at least you have the hop up from water, towards that garage hill. There's multiple entryways, but a good second hill from Optic is now they have a 30-point lead. But fence is controlled by Reciprocity, but here come all the green arrows from the back.
Nice win by Tommy. Still contested in the hard point. Zed now going to come in, see what magic he can work. That should have been 2 kills, but just shot just a little bit off as he tries to connect with the hip fire. It's Waskin, though. That I thought for a moment maybe he gets all 3 kills. But no one really finding a ton of time here as it's been contested throughout. Now Reciprocity, thought for a moment maybe they get a brief second of comfort, but Crim 6 still here. All right, so honestly, it seems like I think everything outside the final 15 seconds was contested for the most part.
Yeah, one thing I had to focus on was Weston. At one point, he was 1-7, and really when we were on that life, he was able to find a couple of kills, so getting him back into the game. The teams have gotten much better at locking down this rock hill. Just spawning that enemy team out so far away. Weston, though, able to break on in, and now he has his team spawn in Boathouse, but Krim set up with that ICR. Optic Gaming stabilizes. Zuma and TJ able to find some kills. Spots Tommy as well in the water. That's going to be a kill. Cluster on in, forces Karma in a weird situation. But TJ just being so annoying from the top halls.
Yeah, I think TJ, and I believe he forced them into a stun. I believe they got the stun out right. You saw kind of Tommy, I think, holding it right before they pushed. So you're getting shot in the back, you push forward, you catch a stun, and Reciprocity gets cleared.
And this is what I'm talking about. Karma's just making sure they can't push through garage, right? Just look at where Weston spawns out. You have a couple of spawns by that boathouse. Just forces a lot of different pushes out of Reciprocity. But the lead now very strong. And now you have Zuma, who's on a bit of a 5 streak. Got all his kills on this hill. Has full streaks. And We know how dangerous streaks can be on a map like Hacienda because, well, we saw it when Midnight played Optic Gaming earlier this week. It was Brack who changed the game for them.
War Machine out. He gets 2, knows there's another there, but I believe the assist is going to come in. So a nice War Machine from TJ is going to get a bit of a split spawn here now from Reciprocity and allow Optic to find some early time as we get into the start of our second set of rotations. Crimsic very close to Annihilator. That's going to get him even closer before he gets flanked by Zed. Tommy, not investing these streaks yet, but nice use of the wiggle there. Stock able to get the juke and connect on the shots. Nice plays. Him and Karma working together there in the top hallway.
And they hit him with 20 seconds left. As I say, focus on that garage. Now that top right here, mini-map, Karma's gonna have a big one-on-one versus Weston.
And it was last time through here where he was such a nuisance.
Yep,
he won multiple
again.
one-on-ones. Here's another one. Will allow his teammates to start to rotate towards him. And this is the exact same position.
He has grab some as well, but Zuma's gonna call in the drone squad to help him out. He's able to stay alive, put some damage down. Here comes the rest of his team. Scump, Zuma, they all find kills, but as you said, it starts with the big plays out of Karma.
He's like a little flea, a gnat, just buzzing around
actually,
the setup.
That's the drone squads that are.
Oh, yeah, fleas with a gun.
Yeah.
Oh, more than doubling up their opponents right now. Optic in control, but Dins uses the Tempest. Nice shot on, but Zuma able to soar out and shut him down. Karma wants to go for the grab slam, and it is going to pick up 2.
3.
This has been his hard point.
Oh! Thought he was snapping on a number 5 as well.
And this has been, a story for Optic Gaming for years. When Karma is playing well, they are infinitely more dangerous.
Just have to be like that right there. You had to be able to trade that. You had to trade that. Right now, it's a story of the individual talent of Optic is just showing off as TJ's able to find 3. You already have Karma in position to rotate towards fences. Crim's in the hill. And win another one-on-one. You can see Weston struggling at 8 and 20. Shawnee not playing too well either. But Optic looking comfortable. He hasn't even had to, Zuma hasn't had to use the Hellstorm or the Lightning yet. This has been all Optic.
It's been a very close series up into this point. Optic looking to blow the doors off it here. Their lead just growing and growing, but if there's been anything that's really stood out over this first week, it's maybe been the 100-point comebacks that we've seen across a variety of maps in Hardpoint. This one just might be out of reach when you think about the streaks for Zuma and just how big the lead has gotten. Crimsic's approaching streaks as well as he's 190 off. Make it 65 off. Just looking for the final one. There it is. More streaks, more toys, more to use for Optic.
Zuma has Tempest again on the side of Reciprocity. If you're going to have a miraculous comeback, you need great specialists. They have the Annihilator from Weston, but Crim going to call his planes in with that Lightning Strike, able to find a couple of kills. Now you have Scump in the hill. Well, that's a trophy. That's going to take care of that, but grab slam on in. Able to find one. Weston does have the Annihilator out, but see you later. That's just what streaks can do on this hill.
Somehow, though, despite the streaks, they are still going to be inside the hardpoint. Is trying to fight back, but Crim 5 points off again. There can't get him. A team kill comes in behind the Hellstorm, but may not matter. How many nades have we now seen thrown into that trophy? There's 18 more points needed. There's 18 on the clock. You have to get another contest. They can win it here. They've got to be able to get in. Look how far spread out. Optic just fanning out, making sure they can't get in. Mid might be the last hit. That's the last opportunity. That's going to be Scump that's holding it. Oh, Andy got Zuma here with the Tempest.
Does get in.
They get him for a second, so yeah, you can't win it. There's at least one more rotation, but it's 247 to 77, Joe.
It's a lot.
It's a shame. It's a shame. This has been a very, very close series. Reciprocity has played Optic very tough. You just hate to see them go out like this.
Reciprocity has played everybody tough. Just
don't want to go out like this, though. I guess that's a tough loss to swallow.
Especially to end your week on. You know, Reciprocity is going to be 1 and 3 after this. Optic 3 and 1. And there we go. Almost. But they're still alive. They're still alive.
Now they're dead. Optic get the victory 3-1. Some real stellar performances across the entire stage. Reciprocity had their clutch moments, their clutch plays, but it simply was not enough as Optic Gaming get the final laugh, and they get a 3-1 week despite the fact they don't have Dashy, and I think that's going to be one of the big takeaways from this week. They go 3-1.
That's I think that obviously would love to go 4-0. But, you know, they had to play Midnight, who's a tough opponent.
You're fine with 3-1.
I think when you looked at the schedule coming into it, you know, coming into this week for Optic Gaming, it's not the hardest schedule, but you had to play Midnight. Maybe that's the only game, even with Dasha, you would say, potentially there's a chance they drop it.
We don't know yet.
But I expected them to beat Reciprocity, to beat UIU, to beat EG. So maybe, you know, there's some luck on the side just due to the schedule. They don't have to play teams like Red or LG, Gen G, who we know can be very tough opponents. But 3-1 with the sub in the Pro League against some of the best teams in the world, you'll take that.
Well, Karma, you saw the plays he was making towards the garage hardpoint throughout that game. He was incredible in the series, and we have him on stage with your PlayStation Instant Reaction.
Thanks, Clint. You had some of the best score streak usage we've seen. How are you able to make decisions like that when you're under so much pressure in a fast-paced game environment?
Just staying calm and just making the best out of it. That's really what I do. I've been preaching in those games for us to stay calm, because there's a lot of times in these games when teams are getting big leads, and we've seen a lot of blowouts that turn into comebacks, and it's really because you're just not staying calm and you're letting the pressure get to you. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's just me being calm, and just that's who I am.
So a common theme that I've heard when I've been talking to you guys, and the casters have mentioned it, is of course you guys are missing Dashy, and you have, you know, Zuma now, and you've had a couple of role changes. What has the process been like, or adjusting around all those factors?
Well, it hasn't been too bad. I think we finished this week better than we thought we were going to, because of how the first series went. But going into that series, I think we played maybe 5 maps, because we just really couldn't. And then since then we played UIU, we made another role change, and we played, I forget, sorry, whoever we played last night, we made another role change, and now we've stuck with that. But that's been the best one so far, and we're feeling really comfortable. And we were saying to you before this match started, those were really good maps for us, at least right now. They could be different when we have Brandon, we don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I think they chose the wrong maps.
You guys have been playing better and better each match that we've seen, so what can we expect to see out of Optic for next week?
I don't know. It really depends. But right now, like I said, I'm really happy with how we're playing. I'm really happy with how Tommy's playing and how he's meshed with us. It was a really short notice, and I think this league is just really hard, no matter the division you're in. So, I don't know. I expect better things. I think we're just going to keep getting better.
All right, great. Thank you so much. This has been your PlayStation Instant Reaction. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break.
The Call of Duty World League is presented by PlayStation 4, the official platform of the CWL. Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the CWL. And Republic of Gamers, the official monitor of the CWL.
2017 Call of Duty World League champion. Can you believe it? Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Level up the game.
We are back with more Pro League, where we did just see Optic close out their first week in Division A 3-1. Not ideal 4-0, but they seem very, very happy, as we heard from Karma earlier on stage. Nameless, Pac-Man, Study. We saw it from Karma. They got to be happy.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, right? You went 3-1 with a substitute player, and you had a standout performance out of Karma, who was absolutely lights out yesterday and today. And that's what you need, and that's why he's the GOAT, man. I got him as my #1 of all time. It's because he steps up in times of need. I know people would argue Crim6, but I got Karma 3-time, 3 rings. And that's what you need out of a player like that. You know, he's your other Maddox player, and you know, you lost Brucey, the absolute animal of a Maddox, best player, one of the best players in the game. And Karma had to step up, and that's exactly what he did.
Man, Tommy goes off in these hard points for Reciprocity just to lose. I think Maven said he made up a Maven stat in the middle of his cast. He said, anytime Tommy goes off, he seems to lose, man. I don't know what it is. In this game, it's for sure that the kills just need to be balanced. You need to have that teamwork. I'm gonna bring up Midnight again. In that last control, all of them were between 3,000 and 4,000 damage. What does that mean? No one is doing more than they need to. They're baiting and switching, working together. One person doing it all in this game is just, it's not the way to go about it.
Well, you definitely need more out of Denz and Shawnee, right? Those are supposed to be some of your Slayers on your team. You need them to, you know, play a little bit better and help these guys out. I mean, Reciprocity, they get in these good situations. They get in leads and they just choke a lot. You know, it's just a lot of times towards the end of the game, they start to drop the bar. They can't keep up that initial heat that they were bringing throughout the map. Tommy really the only player able to play well throughout the entire time. And you know, it's something that they really need to work on and figure out how to catch that steam and keep it going throughout the entirety of the map.
And in this clip, Tommy finishes 10-0.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. Tommy went off 10-0, but the only thing I just didn't like was his was his score streak usage.
Yeah.
Like, there was 12 seconds remaining on that first hill, and he decides to call in the drone squad. Okay, you're gonna be wrapping back, the drones are gonna be following you, you're gonna pick up the anchor. Okay, that's not what happens. He decides to call in a lightning strike to try to pick up an anchor as well, just wasting streaks. And then Optic Gaming just held the entire setup the entire time, and that's what literally just kept them, like, from getting a big lead that they should have gotten.
What do you think the better course of action would have been?
Well, if he just saved the streaks and rotated, you know, held rotations, and if they lose that, because basically Optic had the entire hill the entire time. They lost it regardless. Just save the streaks, use them on a more valuable hill like the 4th hill down here by the pipes area, and it was just, I just felt like he was rushing into that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe save one of those streaks for when it gets a little bit scary and you're about to choke a map and call it in, you know?
Yeah.
There's always times and there's always a time and place to use a streak. I'm not going to be too critical of the score streak usage because, you know, he did start off 10-0, but, you know, calling in the drone squad with 12 seconds left, you might want to wait a little bit next time to use it.
Yeah.
And I know we've been mentioning a couple times good numbers put up by Tommy and others, but Pac, I wonder if Tommy's putting up such good numbers, is that also kind of indicative that perhaps the rest of his team is not playing on that same level?
No, not necessarily. We've seen other players put up huge numbers, like when Dash is here, Karma right now. It doesn't mean your team's not playing well. It's just he's just going above and beyond, and there can't be that big a gap between you and the next best guy is all I'm saying. You guys got to be working together and work off your team. This map right here, it was so close, so back and forth, and then at the end of the game, Reciprocity was just able to use their specialists better than Optic was to close out the round. I remember they had bomb down at B, and Weskin pulled out his Annihilator and just was able to hold down the B sheet for so long. It's not even the fact he didn't really even get kills. He got maybe 1 kill, but it was just Optic knew that they couldn't peek the lane. So now, and then they were funneled into Reciprocity, and Reciprocity was able to hold.
Yeah, and that's what these search and destroys will come down to a lot. We talk about it a lot up here because it's so important. It's like when it gets like 5-4 or 4-4 rounds, specialists become extremely important, and the team that utilizes them better will end up winning the game. Like you see the, you know, big kills there with the War Machine. This could have very easily been an Optic Gaming round, but picking up those kills is just, it's so important to be able to utilize them correctly at the end of the game.
I felt like the switch round for Reciprocity in this map right here was definitely Zed's 1v2 versus Karma. You know, when it came down to that last, when he got the defuse on the very end, because that is the difference between 5-3 and 4-4, especially like, because Reciprocity was able to develop a lot of specialists after that. But just getting clutched on is definitely.
We talked about it. He got to fight 2 1v1s.
Yeah, like
they
that's
split
just
push
something you don't want to do.
Exactly. Oh, this is in this round. Optic decided to push all towards A bomb because Karma had a lightning strike. He didn't get a kill with his lightning strike, but they funneled them down into the pipes, and that led to an early life advantage for Optic. They took advantage of it. I really like the strategies that people are using with their streaks. And them funneling teams into certain areas.
Yeah, and then you just kind of isolate them, and you can pick up those kills when they try to run back out. And if you do use it, you know, especially on an offense, you can pick up a tick, maybe 2 on a hill, and that's going to be extremely crucial. And then there was one round on this game where Reciprocity had a 12-6 kill lead, and like they just let themselves get run over. Like you can't choke that, right? Like that's something you got to be able to close out, and that to me that is the most frustrating thing, right? Like. You have that big of a kill advantage and you lose the round. It's just, that is so stressful to me.
I feel like the reason why they lost this round, I don't know if you were paying attention, but Karma was in their spawn. Just basically spawn killing
he was just
the entire time. 2-piece, him and Shawnee and Tommy. I don't know, this guy.
The best play Karma made throughout this whole play is this here. The fact that he just sat in their lobby for so long without actually making the move, so they kind of just forgot about him. Like they knew he was there, they forgot about him, and then once Tommy or TJ and Zuma pick up a couple kills, he knows these guys are out spawn. Now, Karma made a great play here, but unless it's God himself in your spawn, you guys have to work together.
It's one guy.
And get this one guy out of your base. I don't know how Reciprocity fails. We can't see it, but you know he's here. Fight together. Get him out of your base. He's not even using specialists. He's just one guy.
Yeah, he's not Superman. Like you just gotta find him, you gotta kill him. That should be step one. Like if somebody's pushed up on the map, you gotta back up, get together, and help your team kill them out of your base. Like that's something you just can't let happen. And then that game 4 was an absolute obliteration. We saw Karma, especially on that Lambo hill, where he was just snapping back and forth, and he got a kill in there, and then he jumped back into the water, and he just jumped back in, and nobody was even looking at the water side of the map. It's like they're just forgetting about him on the map. Karma's going absolutely off.
And Study, what do you think is clicking so well for Optic right now with Respawn?
I think it's definitely Karma. It's just the plays that this guy's making. He has a .99 in hardpoint, but it doesn't even matter. The plays that the 3-time is making is unbelievable. Sits a corner, pops a 2-piece, jumps back down in the water, gets back up, pops a grab spike, gets another 2-piece. He's just doing it all on the map. He's making such smart plays, especially on rotation, spawning the other team out. That's why he's the 3-time man, and it's just so good to see because he had an amazing the last 2 days, and that's the Karma that we know and love.
He certainly did. But moving on to our next matches for the day, we're going to pull up the schedule because coming up next, Red Reserve and LG is looking for a win.
Yeah, no, we've been talking a lot about Luminosity. It's just because it's so surprising to not be seeing these guys, winning games, and they have a ton to work on. I know individually, I know we always talk about them being so talented, being really good, but I actually think John, Slack, Classic, all three of them need to improve in this game, like individually right now. I don't think any of them are where they used to be in previous titles, and I think it's something, like, look, John even said right here, unacceptable performance out of me first and third map, really unacceptable. I'm sorry, but I won't let that happen again. Like, that is a guy you need to be going off for you. You need him to be playing well as one of your SOGs. SOG's one of the most important roles in this game. They need to be throwing shoulders, they need to be playing their life, and they need to have good communication because they're always going to be in the mix. And if you're not doing those things, it's going to be tough for your team. So he has the weight of the world on his shoulders for this roster, but he's got to step it up.
They just look a little bit lost in the map currently, LG. They need just to work tighter setups and work together. There's no way that John just forgot how to shoot his game. It's impossible. He's one of the most talented COD players ever. So they just need to work on that teamwork, work together, bait and switch properly, so they can play and win these maps.
And take a look at this formal tweet. So frustrating. We got to figure something out because this is pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of is, right? Like, you got a really good team. You got to put it together. And Formal has been, shooting really straight, picking up a lot of kills. You just got to put it together as a team. And it's something that I expect them to go back with Ricky, their coach, and figure out. But maybe there's a lot of VOD out now. Go watch Midnight and just see what they're doing. You're not telling me that John and Slack can't do what Jet Li and Envoy are doing. Like, they can definitely do that. Just emulate it, copy it. Take your time. You don't need to be the superstar on the map. They need to learn that. I think that they will at some point.
Well, Pac, and what about Red Reserve, though?
Well, Red Reserve, they haven't beaten any American pro teams yet. So they still have something to prove. Like, the only team they beat was Reciprocity, the only league team they beat so far. So I'm really looking for them to come out and prove that they're one of those top teams. Raid's not happy with me. Yeah, Raid's not happy with me. They had a really close match with Midnight. So we do know that they have the potential to be one of the top teams. They just have to come and be consistent. They need more out of. I feel like they need more out of like Zero and Bans. Like we've seen Scraps put up those huge performances. In Game 5 he struggled a little bit yesterday, but other than that, he's been a superstar player. They just need to balance their slaying for sure.
Well, and we were so excited when we finally did get to make it official, but we want to talk a bit about London. That is coming up May 3 to 5. You can see it on your screen that you can get. Team passes are available. We talked about it yesterday. It's going to be a great, great time, and we very much so hope that all of you can come and join us.
Yep, I'm the king of the copper box.
No, you're not.
Me and Joe DeLuca, he's here. And Formal, the guy on stage. And J-Cap somewhere at home, Santa Monica, watching this. But yeah, we're the kings of the copper box, so until this event, I still have the crown there.
You can't even defend your crown.
I can't even defend.
Formal can, though.
Formal can. Hey, Matt, can you hear me? You got to pick it up because I don't see them winning an event anytime soon, but maybe by May 3rd. I can't wait for that event. It's going to be spectacular.
So you may have noticed that we moved the button away from Nameless. Don't you touch it either, Study. You gotta stay tuned because we still can't tell you what exactly it's for, but I can give you another hint that it has to do with an upcoming CWL event, which will be very, very exciting. No touching.
Yeah, no, they moved it literally to the opposite side. I just wanted Dashy to play, man, but whatever, they won anyway. So.
I know, he's being greedy, but you have to be patient because at the end of the day, before our last match, we will press that wonderful golden button. But as you just saw, Optic 3-1 Reciprocity to end their week in Division A, 3-1. Very exciting for them. Midnight 4-0 coming up, Red Reserve and Luminosity.